Hey there, this is Dr. Pam Perry. So I promised myself that I would do a show every week that would edify, explain to people about PR, how to work with the media, how to get your story told, how to speak in sound bites, how to get booked in media places and on superstar stages. So today is a solo show, and I'm going to just really give you straight about what it really takes to get PR. I had a client today that was on, actually two clients today that were on TV. One was in Indianapolis, the other one was here in Detroit, and they actually did very well. Uh, they had media training experience. It wasn't the first time on the rodeo for them. They've been on television before, but I'll give you some of the instances on how they got to where they did and how they got booked and how it's going to work out for them because getting PR is one thing and then leveraging it is a whole nother thing. I did a podcast on 50 ways how to leverage your PR. So that's what I'll be doing right after this.
Welcome to the Get Out There and Get Known podcast. Join Pam Perry, veteran PR strategist, Emmy award-winning producer and publisher of Speakers Magazine, who will show you how to crack the code in getting out there to get known. Each week, she either interviews her media friends, PR colleagues, or she just goes solo, offering you strategies on publicity, publishing, and platform building. So listen up to hear how to get booked on media places and on superstar stages. Now, here's your host, Pam Perry.
Hey there, that music always pumps me up. That was the voiceover of my husband, Mark Perry. And that video was done by my good friend, Bob, who's gone on to be with the Lord. It's still hard to believe that he has been my creative director for about 15 years, but he did the creative for that. So let's talk about upgrading your brand and getting PR, getting exposure. So let me tell you why this podcast is called Get Out There, Get Known, because as a publicist for the last 31 years, and I've worked with hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of authors, speakers, and entrepreneurs over the years, including some nonprofit organizations and churches. But the main thing that people come to me and say, I want to get out there. I need to get out there. And so it became such a colloquialism for me to say, they want to get out there. It's like, get out where? So get out there and get known is really what the main thing that people come to me for because they want to get out there. So I have a methodology that I use. It's PAM, which is the initials, PAM, PAM, promote, amplify, and market. And so those are really the main things that I teach. I know no matter where you put me, I'm going to talk about those things. So how to promote and give you a little bit, and then I'll give you into the tips of the two TV segments that were booked today. But promote, amplify, and market. So one of the first things about promoting is that you have to have the mindset of promoting, that I am worthy of something to say, something to share, promoting it, sharing it. You can't share if you don't feel worthy of speaking out. And you would think that most people coming to a publicist that they would already have the mindset that I want to get out there. But sometimes let me tell you that when you pray for something, sometimes it will come to you in the form of a publicist and they're pushing you out there and people get scared. So the first thing is promoting yourself, promoting your brand, promoting your book, promoting your business. And it is not shoving something in someone's face. It is just a way to really share in a way that people can understand and consume and buy it. So that's really like the main thing. You want to make sure that you are going to promote. So whether you're going to promote online, offline, and that's a whole nother thing when you're promoting something offline. Because if you're promoting something in person, the whole package of the whole package of your brand has to be intact. You can't have run over shoes or wrinkled clothes. Your hair has to be done. So it's a whole nother level when you're promoting something in person versus something online. And this is live. This is actually live. I don't have a script or anything. So this is live. But if you're going to do something online, obviously you're going to have a website, you're going to have the right words and language, you're going to have the right messaging and talking points. Those are different than if you're going to be doing something that is in person versus online. So having the mindset of promoting and knowing the difference between the two. One tip that I will always tell all of my clients is that if you're going to an event, and a lot of times we're just a little nervous about meeting new people, go to the event with the attitude that you're going as a host and not a guest. That will make you feel a little bit more at ease because now you're going to make other people feel at ease. So I went to an event last weekend. It was the event of Fly Ageless. And we go into a networking event. I don't know anyone in Louisville, don't know any of these people there, but I go in and I'm just making sure that everybody is okay. It's like, hi, how are you? Did the waitress come over to get you something to drink? Or do you need a napkin for your drink? Whatever it is, making a conversation, acting like you're the host. It definitely will make you not nervous in talking to people. Never go to a networking event and go and sit down by yourself and just wait for people to come to you. That looks you're feeling awkward. People probably will not come over to you because you're looking standoffish. So go in and say, hey, how are you? You want to hang your coat up over there? Or, hey, there's the food that's over there. Did you try the such and such? So you may want to go a little bit early so you can kind of feel like you're doing that. So I said that to a client earlier this week as well, to go and act as a host, not as a guest. Even if you people who are, when you come into the place, ask if there's something that you need them to do, if they would like you to do, and it could be like, yeah, can you, when people come in, can you just show them A, B, and C? That's always a good thing. The other A, it says P for promote, A for amplify. And amplify is meaning that once you have promoted something and it's maybe landed in the media, or it's a good viral video, or it is an email that's got a lot of open, you're going to amplify it, meaning that you're going to share it more often in different places. So I'm a really good at amplifying things. So if someone has a PR hit like today, Portia, the election results came in. A lot of people may have been disappointed, and she's a grief recovery specialist. So Fox 2 News is where she has been pitched, and she's been booked several times. And so they had her in again today, my client, to talk about how to navigate feelings if you are upset or just really disappointed about the election results. So she's, as a grief recovery specialist, she talks about emotions and things like that. So she came in, she spoke about that. And one of the main things is that she's there on a regular basis. So they kind of know their cadence and that she's going to look good. She's going to be appropriate. She had her 7-minute segment. Now, how did she get there is that we pitched her. It was timely. We made sure that all of the things that she needs to be on television is actually there for them. So the press kit, she has books, she has products, she has a website that's working, all those things. So she's in one particular station. She's at Fox 2 News, and she's did that. So what I did with that is that maybe people didn't catch her that morning, right? So we did a picture, we did pictures, we did some video of her walking in. I put it up and I amplified it by really putting that up as a reel, put it up as a TikTok on my TikTok, and made the reel for her. She can share it. So now it's just like behind the scenes of her going in. That's how you amplify it. So it's not just her sitting on the couch with the reporter, but also behind the scenes of her coming in, walking through, producer, sitting her down, showing you all that. The other part is I had someone on my team tape the video because it'll be up on YouTube later, which is a whole nother amplification method. But we then took that video that I had someone tape from their television, they weren't there, and we put that on Facebook, again, amplifying, and then took that piece and actually sent out as an email. So the email talked about the story of why she was there, about the election results, about the timeliness of before everybody's talking about the election. Now, after the election, how do you deal and navigate through that? So it was amplified by one, showing BTS behind the scenes. Two, it was showing her in the video, putting that out in an email, goes out to 10,000 people. They see it, clicks through to the link, that kind of thing. So that was one. The other amplification, the same thing that happened in Indianapolis. Yolanda was in studio. Now, we booked this interview probably in July. Her event was in August. Didn't happen in September. A lot going on. Didn't happen in October. She had vacation, that kind of thing. So finally November. So she had an event. That was the reason why she went into the studio, Wish TV. Again, while she's in the lobby, she's taking pictures, kind of like behind the scenes. She'll take pictures, of her on the set. And then obviously she'll have a video and showing that out and sharing that out, amplifying that message. Yolanda knows how to do that. So she'll do it in her email. She'll put it maybe in her email signature. I did a whole podcast on 50 ways on how to leverage your PR. So that's it. I had another client too, Tari. She was on Rising Charlotte. She was on TV at the CW station there. And so with her, she took the MP4 from the station, put it on her YouTube channel, which she's grown her. Tari Donaldson, her book is called Extreme Vision. She's growing her YouTube channel. And so she took that interview from the TV station, put it on her YouTube channel, and then she shared it out in different parts on social media. She clipped it up and that kind of thing. So again, amplifying. So promoting, you know what to share, you know what to say, amplifying it, putting in other channels. There's so many different channels you can put different things to amplify it. And then the last M, the last part of PAM, the method, is the M, it's the marketing. So all of this is fine. You're promoting, you're amplifying, you're promoting, but what does it do? It has to market. It has to sell. I do an event called Speak, Sell, and Shine. Now, people are really good about the speaking. They're good about the shining, but the sell part. So marketing is about sales. You have to let people know what problem that you solve, that they exchange their money for you to solve their problem. And with me, it's PR. People want more visibility. They want more credibility. They want to get their time back because they don't have time to pitch themselves to podcasts or TV shows or write articles. So they gladly would want a professional to help them with that. That's where the marketing comes in. You have to articulate your value in the market so that people will know that you're not just out here promoting and amplifying, but you are actually selling something. So Tari selling the fact that she's a new author of a book. She's on there. She's holding up the book. With Yolanda, same thing. She's a book. She's an author. She's a speaker. She's really getting into different areas, more corporate, also networking there. And then Portia's a grief recovery specialist. So when they ask you at the end, where can people find you? You're going to say, PamPerryPR.com, right? PamPerryPR.com. You don't have to say the www. Just say whatever it is.com. People will get where to find you. So that's one of the main things that you want to make sure that you're doing. So when people say they want to get out there and get known, that's really what they're saying, that they really want someone to share with them how to get out there and to get known. We always say that content is king, but the best way in order to position yourself as an expert is to really create content. And I'm not just talking about social media. It can be a blog. I love my blog. My blog, I've been blogging since probably 15 years now. But it is the brain, my brain on paper or my brain online. So people can see your expertise by articles. A blog is basically a series of articles. So right now I'm writing an article series on thought leadership. And those blogs are 500 to 1,000 words, sometimes up to 1,200 words. You can add video to the blog. Sometimes they call it vlogging, and sometimes your blog can just be a vlog. It can just be video, and they call it a vlog. But not relying on just social media for your content. If Instagram shuts you down, which it has for some of my clients, and they almost lost their mind, or if Facebook takes away your rights because you violated community, or even YouTube, you have too many strikes and they put you in YouTube jail and you can't get your YouTube, whatever, or it gets hacked. But if you blog on your own website, you own that. You're hosting it. You are doing it in your own email list. So content is always going to be where you are going to have the shape for your authority. So long form stories with quick media coverage is one of the main things that I have people go to, pamperrypr.com/quick media coverage. That is where you have a story that is told by someone else about you. So yes, I can write my own content, put it on my own website. That's fine. And I can share that out and amplify it and promote that. And that it leads to marketing at the last call to action. But when you are wanting to expand beyond what you can write and sharing to your audience, that's when you leverage other people's platform or the media. They have a platform, they have a reach a wider audience. So quick media coverage, we could write stories for you in the New York Weekly, CEO Weekly, Women's Journal. I had a client today, she was almost in tears as she was reading the article that they wrote about you in the Women's Journal, Fatima Jafar. And Fatima was like, oh my God. She says, and what do I do with this? I said, now at this point, this is where we're going to send it to the places where you like to speak and let them know you were recently featured in the Women's Journal. If you want to speak at women's shelters or centers and things like that, that will be a really good place for you to send the article to. So she was really excited about that, having a long form story, meaning it was about 1,200 words explaining the backstory. Of course, she had a book and it was a link in there for people to buy her book, but that was not the point of the story. It did promote, it did amplify, and she's going to amplify it by sharing it, but then it did market because it's sending people to the Amazon link, but it's telling a longer story. So now you have a long form story that you could send to a broadcast producer or a podcast person. They don't have time maybe to read the whole book, but now they can read an entire story about you, and they can pull segments out of there or pull the questions out of there from reading that story, that long form story, the article, the news article. And if you go to pamperrypr.com, you'll see quick media coverage where you can actually get a story written within less than a week. Basically, we have a process in the system where we get you extract the information from you, and then the story is written. So that's one of the main things. So when you're upgrading your brand, when you are looking to pivot, polish things up, one of the main things that you could really do is to look for ways to tell your story and then share that story as in many places as you can. One of the things Fatima says, she says, I might could do a TikTok with the story. Yeah, be as creative as you can. That's one of the things I talk about of how to amplify and leverage your PR is to be creative with it. It's one piece of content, but you want to make sure that you put it on different platforms, put it in different ways that people can actually see that. And so one of the things that I want for people to work on for next year in terms of their PR. PR is not easy, but it's strategic communications. But one of the things that I find that people are not doing, and this is what I call the lowest hanging fruit, is that they already have public relations is really like word of mouth, right? It's like that whole part of like, how do you get out there? How do you get known? The people that are already in your circle, and I did a video about that not too long ago, I'll probably put it in the show notes, that know you, like you, and trust you, make sure that they give you testimonials. Make sure that they are people that are referring you, people that are recommending you. That is PR 101. And it's surprising how people do not do that. It's like, you want to make sure that you are making sure that people who know, like, and trust you are referring you and recommending you, and that they are giving you a testimonial. Because there's so many things that people can say about themselves, but it really matters what other people say about you. So my other program, Ready, Set, Go, Speak, is really like a gold mine of training, community, connections. So within there, every week we're posting something that is either a award they can go for, a stage that is looking for speakers, media outlets. Sometimes media will call me and say, hey, do you have anybody? Do you have anybody? So I'll say, yeah, I have somebody, and basically, I refer them to Speakers Magazine when there's people in here that, do you have anybody? Say, oh, yeah. Let me just see, Kamika, she would be a great person for your show, and I'll do that. That's one thing. Like, oh, okay. So you want to make sure that you're in these different places where you can't go, or places where you know that this person, my influence, that I share this, and that positions you as an authority. That's one of the main things. You want to make sure that you're in things like that. So Speakers Magazine is part of quick media coverage as well. But so you want to make sure that you're doing that and making sure that people are leaving you testimonials and endorsements on Amazon if you have a book. So if you have a book, you want to get as many 5-star reviews. And the reason why you want to build out the Amazon is that Amazon is its own machine. Do you realize that you have an author's page and people can sign up to follow your author's page, that they will then email their audience and say, hey, because you bought this book, you might also like this book. They'll pair it with other people, but only if you're active on Amazon. Active by meaning that you have an author's page that's built out, that you have a testimonials or endorsements, reviews, video reviews are helpful. Karen Taylor Bass, her book, this one right here, I'll show her book right here. And then also Yolanda's as well. This is Yolanda's book as well. Both of them have books on Amazon, and we can leave reviews for these books and video reviews, which it really even has more. So you want to make sure that you're doing that. So come here. So my little puppy, my little puppy, hi there. So he wants to know what's going on. So this is Pep. This is my Pep, P-E-P, Pep. That actually stands for my initials too, Pamela Elaine Perry, P-E-P. So his name is Pep. I like acronyms as well. So I'm gonna let you down. Do you not want to go down? So he's gonna sit here for a couple of minutes. So in terms of PR, a lot of times people want to know, well, how do we get Portia on, or how do we get Yolanda on? We pitch, we write pitch letters. Now, before we write a pitch letter, we have to know who that person is intimately, almost like, what is your show about? What kind of things do they like? Where are they hanging out? You follow them on social media. We stalk them on social media. No, we don't do that. But we really find out as much as we can about a particular reporter, editor, producer, host, and then we pitch them something that is personalized just for them, so that they don't say no. And so sometimes we'll include those long form stories because they'll like to read that. Sometimes we'll even put in attachment as a link to a press release. Yes, press releases are still work. Sometimes we'll even include their one sheet, so they'll see that there's questions that they can ask automatically. It's like, oh, great. I could just grab this one sheet and I'll have all the information. I'll have all the information on this one sheet. So now he's trying to get after. I'm going to put you down. He's trying to get after some food I have over here. I have to throw the dog a bone. Okay. So there we are over there. So the other part of PR that is really, really important, besides the testimonials, is making a list. And I always say, if it's not written, it's not real. So one of the things of my clients, when we first started working together, even my Speak, Sell, Shine cohorts, I always say, make a list of your top 10. Make a list of the top 10 media outlets that you'd like to be featured on. And we'll kind of discuss it. It's like, okay, so why this one? I remember one time I had a client that we were doing our initial intake, and we were doing a PR. And I said, so we'll get your top 10 list and we'll give it to the team, and we'll be like a SWAT, and we'll just, SWAT down on, make sure you get your top 10, and media begets media. So we'll get the 10 and the next 10 and the next 10. So on her list, the first list, she says, I want to be in People Magazine. Okay. And she's a business coach. Okay. So why People Magazine, hon? She said, that's what I read at the beauty shop. Okay. So that is where your customers are. So remember, I told you it's a PAM. You got to promote, amplify, and market. That is not a market. That right there was ego. Like, really, because you want people to know you're in People Magazine. So we really look at what your overall business goals and match the communication goals with that. If it does not match, then we don't work with that. So the top 10 media lists are first the ones that you can get right away within the first 30 days. And then once you have those, you have enough media muscle behind you, then you can go for the next 10 and the next 10. That's how I've been working PR for the last 30 years, and it works. Most of my clients will have hundreds and hundreds of media hits working with me because of the strategic way that we work with this, and also to the connections that I have. I did one video podcast, I believe it was a vlog. So it was a video that was on my blog, and it talks about the PR hookup. And Peppy was actually in that one. And the PR hookup, meaning that people think because you got such and such on PBS, or because you got such and such on this show and you got them in this magazine, that you could get me there as well. Well, it just depends. Depends on the story, depends on the timing, depends on so many factors that you just can't really call up a media friend and say, hey, put this person on. It doesn't work like that. They have a job to do. They have responsibility to their audience, or their readers or viewers. So it really has to be a good story. And so one of the things that PR people must do is find out what is news of the day. What is it that that outlet is looking for? Whether it's a feature or hard news, the thing that you know, it's not just news that you have a new book too. That's not really news. You have to find something that would make them want to say, So we are pitching right now people to be in particular organization, people to be in particular outlets. But one of the things that we're pitching right now is a about students, teachers, and the kids. The kids and the teachers and their parents. Like what is going on? So what is the effect maybe that the election has on the kids? So it's timely right now. Now we're going to be pitching it 3 weeks from now, probably not. But you have to know the news cycles in order to pitch. And so it's almost like you have to put an editor's hat on or a producer's hat on in order to know what it is that they're looking for. Sometimes, because I have the Speakers Magazine, a lot of people will come to me and say, hey, can they speak on this? I saw that you have this person, Vicki Wright Hamilton. Can she speak on that? And so Vicki was recently on America's Hope, and it was one of the things where she had met Kelly Wright at Speak Sell Shine, and Kelly had a particular show. He wanted to bring Vicki on. He interviewed her. He liked her vibe, and she got on. And also so did Esther. Esther was on as well. So a lot of it is timing. Sometimes it does matter that you have met them, but they're not going to just do favors because the media is in there to make money, and they just can't just bring on any willy-nilly. You've got to make sure that it makes sense. So that's one of the key things about it. So I'm really, really excited about a lot of things going into the new year. But one of the main things I'm really excited about is the fact that we are going to be doing a new show. The new show is going to be called Expert Insight, and it is going to be in the studio, and a television studio with a desk and the screens in the back, all that kind of stuff. So anyway, so you'll hear more about that, but make sure that you go to PamPerryPR.com, get on our email list if you're not, so you get notified about that. And then also to making sure that if you want to know more about quick media coverage, I'll show you a quick little blurb about that.
Are you ready to get noticed? Pam Perry PR's quick media coverage service is here to put you in the spotlight. Just tell us your story, and we'll tell the world. Our team of journalists will craft compelling stories about you, featuring captivating photos and links to your website and social media. Choose 1, 2, or 3 stories and see yourself on high-traffic news sites. Be seen, be in the news. With quick media coverage, your unique and newsworthy story gets the attention it deserves. Visit PamPerryPR.com. That's PamPerryPR.com and get started today.
That's it. I'm telling you, once you get those stories written about you, and what I talked about PAM, right? The Promote, Amplify, Market. Promoting an article written about you is so much easier than trying to send somebody a website. Okay. But it makes you see yourself differently when you see the journalist write about you and what is said. Like I said, the clients. If you go to PamPerryPR.com/PR success, you'll see those stories. And everybody who reads the story, they see such a different vision of themselves. And that's what PR people do. We'll help enhance your image. So that's one of the things that PR will do, besides, positioning you as an authority, giving you credibility, obviously increasing the visibility, but it really, really is having that long form story, using a reporter and a journalist telling the story for you. It's worth everything. It's worth everything. Then you can get into the broadcast and that kind of thing, and the video and the audio and but it starts with print. It really does. It starts with print online. All right. So with that, I'm Pam Perry and I'm out. Make sure that you go to PamPerryPR.com, quick media coverage, like, subscribe, share. And one of the things I always said, leave a review. That's what I kind of talked about. It's like, let's not miss that part of what we're doing. That is really, really the key part of really making sure that you get out there and get known. Let people know how to refer you and recommend you. Okay? Take care. God bless.
You've been listening to the Get Out There and Get Known podcast, brought to you by PamPerryPR.com, where you'll get insider tips on how to build your platform, pitch the media, and promote yourself with confidence. Head over to PamPerryPR.com and get the exclusive video training on the 7 must-have marketing materials you need before you pitch in order to be considered in media places or superstar stages. PamPerryPR.com, where you help you shine like a superstar.